Good day everyone and welcome to Exile News, the weekly show that brings you all the important news and informations on Path of Exile. And this week we got some great news. Let's start with the smaller ones. First up, in the week, GGG posted some of the highlights on the Incursion flashback event, and these are pretty much all rips, which, well, not all, but mostly. And since it's the beginning of the, let's say, a league, even though it's just an event, it lasts 1 month. But it's still kind of a league, and at the beginning everyone tries to be number 1 in experience, which means it's a race, people doesn't sleep, and they end up dying in incredible ways, as you might see. If you like RIP videos, definitely check those out. Also, we got another streamer interview, and this time it's Neversink, and Neversink is much less known for his streams and much more known for the item filter he manages, which is obviously called Neversink. And it's one of the most popular item filters, and it's incredibly well made, so definitely an interesting read, actually more than usual, because beside normal Neversink things like how he got into PoE and that kind of stuff, there's also a bit more interesting thing about how he managed to get such a good filter, how he got into it and all that kind of stuff. So definitely a read worth your time if you are even slightly interested into anything related to Path of Exile. Also, GG on Wednesday, or actually on Thursday, they said that the press tour was complete, and on Friday they would reveal all of the new, not all, but most of the new league. Also, these kind of Generation 3 leagues, like Incursion for example, are now going to be labeled as expansions, because they are much more than a simple league. They have new skills, items, balance changes, revamps, all the kind of stuff, so definitely much more like an expansion than a league. And of course we're still going to have mega expansion once every 2 leagues, so that's going to be incredible. So now we got the new league, and it's called Delve. Basically, you can check the trailer, you can check all the news in these sites, which are, as usual, pretty mediocre, except ZiggyD, who has a 10-minute video, which is pretty much explains everything that's known up till now, and it's pretty good, so just check that out if you want the TLDR or TLDW. Other than that, you can click and check the announcement. The trailer is pretty cool, and as usual it has the trailer itself and then Chris Wilson, who explains a bit of the league. So pretty much this league is based upon this infinite depth, and this is kind of a labyrinth. Don't worry, you don't really have to remember any of the ways. The point is that it's infinite, so it's infinite on the left, on the right, and downward. Basically, the more you go down, the harder it gets, so it scales up even more than tier 16 and Elder and all the kind of things. So you can actually prove how strong your character is by going down. And there's also going to be a ladder that tracks who has gone deepest into the mine, so definitely a kind of endgame, trying to keep the leagues alive for more than 1 month or a couple weeks at best. And if you reach the level that you are comfortable with and you don't want to go down, you can expand left or right, so keeping the same level but actually getting new challenges. So it's definitely really interesting, and there's going to be a lot of things, a lot of really interesting things. So first up, there's going to be this cart, and this cart goes from one point to another. You can see it leaves a trail, and this cart kind of illuminates around it. So the labyrinth is really dark, and outside of light you are going to take exponential damage over time. So you can't really go too far from the cart. You can stay behind the cart and it goes lower, you can stay in front of it and it goes faster, and you can kind of go around exploring the darkness by throwing flares, which you will have in a limited amount, and you can bomb some walls to kind of get reaches beyond it by using dynamites. Again, you will have a few of those as well. And there's going to be Azurite, which is kind of a new, let's say, currency, and you find it around every map pretty much. So the labyrinth itself is not going to be self-sustained, and I keep calling labyrinth, I just should probably call it depth or something like that. It's not a labyrinth like the one with this arrow in it, it's completely different. But the point is, you find these resources, you can trade it with this new NPC, and when you feel ready you can enter the labyrinth and try to go down or just explore it in another direction. Whatever it feels like you can do. There's also going to be bosses, kind of different encounters depending on different biomes that you will find downward, which is absolutely cool and definitely kind of enabling for some builds. And speaking about enabling things, there are going to be new items which are going to enable new builds. There's also a new map, new unique map, which is not very common, but hopefully they will add one per league, even though that might just become a bit too much. There's some crazy stuff like this, where you can only have golems as your minion, but you can summon up to 3 additional golems. However, they have reduced size, less damage, less life, but much more move speed. So these are really crazy things going down. Even this stuff is absolutely crazy, like no sockets. However, it has probably up to 300 increased global damage, which is absolutely amazing for some builds, probably incredible for something like shockwave totems. It has attack speed and +4 to all maximum resistances, which is crazy strong. I haven't seen an item with these stats in a while, so really interesting. Also, there's going to be new socketable currency items, so you will be able to find fossils like this one, which gives more physical mods and no chaos mods, and this influences your crafting. So once you put these fossils into these resonator things, this one only has 1 socket, okay, and you can put one of these, of course. So this means if you put this one with no chaos mods and more physical mods, and then you use it, it will upgrade a normal item to a rare item, as it says, which has no chaos mods and will have at least a couple physical mods. So this is actually pretty interesting. Some of those are really interesting, like has a corrupt essence mod. This might end up being really strong. And you can see this helmet that has been crafted with this item. For example, it has more minion and aura mods and lightning mods. And you can see it has the +2 to minions. It has lightning resistance, and it has even crazy things like enemies nearby have -15 to lightning resistance, and this is not something you can craft normally, or at least not easily. So definitely really strong, somewhat deterministic crafting options here are definitely incredible for those who want to craft special things. And if you have a lot of time and if you play a lot, of course you will be able to craft a lot of things. And also you can see this one has 1 hole in the actual 2D art. This has 2, this has 3. This one over here, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So possibly you might be able to find, maybe even in the deepest things, against the strongest bosses, you might be able to find these incredible items and craft something absurd. We'll have to see if this is just a tease or if you will be able to actually get 6 slots socketable kind of resonator thing, and that's going to be amazing. Definitely a really good league. You can already see that this league is going to be good. If you watch this map, I don't know what this kind of blue thing is here, but this is a breach. There's probably an abyss somewhere. This might be like unique chests full of items. This could be bosses or something. There's definitely breaches somewhere. So that's pretty interesting. Definitely really cool concept. The first infinite thing into Path of Exile. So depending on how good this does, this will probably fill into the main game and will probably be expanded upon in the future. Also, there's going to be new and revamped skill. We only got 3 for now. The only revamped skill we see is Dominating Blow, which is much better now, as it does not create the same monster you kill. However, it creates a Sentinel of Dominance with the same gravity and the same mods of what you killed. And you see, you can have up to 9 normal ones, 3 magic and 1 rare, but the gem is level 1 at this point, so it probably gets better. Also, you have a 10% chance to summon a sentinel when you hit a unique monster, so GG is going on with this, trying to have skills that are actually sustainable against bosses as well, and I really like this concept because this could actually make Dominating Blow much better and definitely less server killing. We got 2 new skills. Toxic Rain is basically a Rain of Chaos, which also besides doing chaos damage and converting physical to chaos, which is pretty rare and pretty cool. And also for every arrow that lands, it creates a spore pod, which applies a debuff and then explodes, applying damage over time. So definitely a pretty good chaos build skill, and we'll see how strong people will actually get it to be. Also, the other one is Smite, which you can see pretty well in many videos and in the trailer as well. Looks really cool, and it's kind of a melee attack, which also causes nearby enemies to get damaged in an area, so it kind of has a melee splash built in, pretty much. Also, it gives you a buff where you and your allies have a chance to shock, and your aura grants 1 to 7 added lightning damage. It's thought out for guardian builds where you have a lot of auras and you grant your allies a lot of very good things. However, I believe it's going to be pretty good being used as just as a solo player as well. So 50% of physical is converted to lightning, which means it's very strong as an elemental build. Definitely lightning based. You might want to go full elementalist or just go like full physical and converting most of it. We'll see how people will get this skill to work. I believe this is going to work really well. Also, it works with unarmed, so definitely a face breaker type of skill can be used here. So definitely a face breaker type of skill that can be pretty good. And well, if that wasn't everything, there's also the return of the reliquary. So if you played the Legacy League, there was this reliquary where you get this key. It's really rare, and once you get in, you have a chance, or rather, you open a chest and you get at least 1 foiled unique from taken from the past league's unique. You can see these are only unique coming from leagues, and this time, however, every unique has the same chance of dropping. So previously, people tried to get like Legacy Chaos, and it was impossible because the chance was so fucking low. This time, the chance is absolutely the same for every unique, and there's 150 uniques. So definitely really cool and definitely really good collectible things. So if you don't know what to do at a certain point in the league, you can try to collect most of these. Definitely an interesting thing, and this looks amazing as well. Also, there's new supporter packs, which as usual go in the $30 and $60 range, and you can upgrade from the lowest to the highest. So definitely something interesting. You can see it's this here. I really like the weapon effects, which is not shown here, for both packs, especially the fire one. So definitely give it a look if you're interested into supporting Path of Exile. And other than that, can't really wait to play it. 20 days till the launch. And yeah, that was all for this week. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment down below. Also, if you want to remain updated every week, be sure to subscribe to my channel. So that was all. I've been your host, Giorgio, and I'll see you guys the next time.